Alright, this is Fakafon's review of Spider-Man 2 on the GameCube. Now, that game was based on a movie, and I don't have to say it, but most video games that are based on movies are terrible. Like, do you remember those Terminator games? Like, most of them were really bad. Or you remember that Batman game where it was some kind of Mortal Kombat ripoff and a real puzzle to figure out? There was also, that Street Fighter game that was made out of the movie, which was made out of the game. Yeah, well, that's kind of a dumb idea, but they made it. But anyway, I don't have to say, like the big majority of video game made of movies are really bad. Some games were good, like GoldenEye was good at the time, and Spider-Man 2 was good. However, there's something really odd about this, because if you go to the core basic of the game, Spider-Man 2 is not that good. In fact, it's really average. The combat is not great, honestly, it's pretty bland. The graphics were good, but not impressive, and the plot was just lame. So, what made this game so good? Why does everyone remember it as a good game? Well, let me tell you, the swinging. El Swingerino saved the game. If it wasn't for the swinging, this game would be not as good. In fact, it'd be average. The swinging was so great, it was so fun, it saved the game. It is the game, in fact. It's just exploring around, running around with the swinging, with the web. It's the most fun you can have. Now, there's something I wondered. Maybe flying would be funner than swinging around. But as we all know, that's not true. So, what makes swinging better than flying, like more fun? Well, I think it's, how can I say this? When you're in a car game or like a skateboard game, you want to speed up and, dodge obstacles and have to turn and do stuff and tricks. Well, I think it's the same here. When you're swinging around, you're not totally free of your control. You have to, move by yourself, so when you fly, you can go wherever you want except walls, but when you're swinging, you can only swing where there's buildings, or you can do some special kinds of swings, like pulling yourself, or, so that's funner than just flying around. Now I'm going to talk about the combat. The combat was pretty okay, but it's pretty much just some button mashing. Like, you see the guy, you punch him, you dodge when you see your cursor, and that's pretty much it. You use your webs on the guy who gives you shit, and then you punch them, and it's easy as that. There were some combos which were really nice. Like, there was the one where you can flip a guy around you so they hit others. Or, one of my favorite, you take some guys and you actually tie them up on a pole and they'd be just hanging like cocoons. But that was apart from that, the combos are not that useful. Most of the time you can make it out without the combos. So yeah, fighting is kind of okay. I mean, it's not great. Now, there's something else, the graphics. Like I said, the graphics were good. I mean, you go around the city and it's nice to look at. It's pleasant. However, it's not impressive graphics. Like, you look at the characters, you're like, yeah, okay. You look at the citizens, you're like, why not? Like, for example, when you fight, actually the biggest problem would be the animations, I guess. It's not bad animation, but it's kind of old for the time it was made. Like, it's like old animation, if you see what I mean. It's kind of stale. Like, when you fight the Shocker, it's pretty much, you feel like you're fighting a scarecrow that does electricity. And when you fight the Rhino, well, you do nothing except dodge and kick, and he doesn't do anything except run and run. But the animations on Spider-Man is okay. Well, actually, it's the best in the game. But the thing I remember the most about the game is the bugs. Now, I'm not talking about cockroaches and spiders and stuff. No. What I meant were the glitches, the bugs, the lags, all this. This is what I remember the most about Spider-Man 2. And it's weird. Normally, bugs make games less good. When it's bugging, you're like, oh crap, it's bugging. Not in this game. Bugs made it actually funnier. Okay, so here's one of the bugs I remember. You can have some missions where you go on buoys and you have to go on the boat and save people. Well, those people you save, you can actually go on top of a building and let them loose. And like, they're on the top of a building, like casually walking around, and then they fall, and then it's like, ah! And they keep walking. Like, nothing happened. They don't even react. They just fall, ah! And then they keep walking. That was pretty funny. Another bug I remember is that I think it happened a total of 3 times. I'm just swinging around and then I would just swing through a building. Like, there's a building in front of me. I passed through, no problem. Another bug I remember is that sometimes I saw, well, it happened once, but I saw a citizen walking upside down. And I was like, dude, you know the floor is the other way around. Oh, whatever, goodbye. Another bug I remember, and this one was really cool, in fact. I was in the training room, you know, there's some kind of arcade where you can train, and I was just fidgeting around, and then I just passed through the floor and into the water. And when I came back, I wasn't in the training anymore, I was outside on the street, and the view distance was shorter, there was no more people on the street, and the cars had disappeared. And it was black all around me, like, and then I asked myself, what, did I land in Gotham City or something? It was really nice, but I could never manage to do it again. Another bug I remember was there's an arena where you can fight some bosses and you can have some. Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk about the arena first. The arena was some kind of big warehouse where you had some challenges like beating a certain number of people in a given time, or beating the bosses, and sometimes at the end, like, all the bosses would gang up on you. But anyway, there was a bug where you know, octopus has some tentacles, of course, you know, but he could actually get stuck in the warehouse, and when he saw you, his tentacles would extend at extreme range. You know, it was really funny. Like, I was running away, and I'd see a big giant tentacle running out to me, and that guy was like at the under end of the room. He was way over there, and I see his tentacle. I was freaking out. Of course, I got caught, and then when I got caught, I went into a seizure. Like, my guy got grabbed and he was like, that was really funny. And during the normal boss fight of Octopus, he grabbed me and then he got a seizure because I was stuck on some kind of ramp and he was pulling up to me but he couldn't, and then he got into a seizure. I got damaged too. But that was really funny. What else? Yeah, there was a strange bug. At some point you can fight Mysterio and he won't do anything. He'll just stand there until you punch him. So what I did, I kind of messed around with him. I pushed him out and I started dragging him around on the street, like really far. And then since he was still not doing anything, I wondered if the game had frozen or something. I punched him. And then I see him inside the store where he was originally at, like just dying. And I was like, okay, well, I guess that's a pre-rendered animation, but that was stupid. And speaking of Mysterio, at some point you actually have to go on the Statue of Liberty Island. And you use some kind of flying UFOs to get there. But after you're done with that, the UFOs are not there anymore, but you can still grab on to where the UFOs used to be. So, like, there's nothing and you just be swinging in the air, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to Liberty Island on air! Oh, speaking of air, this is the most awesome bug. I found a trick. When you fight, you can do an air combo, and when you press the jump button, you would jump away from the enemy. And what I did, I jump away from the enemies, and then I pull him towards me with the web, and then I jump away, pull him towards, jump away, like, I keep doing that. And then at some point, I got so high in the air, the cursor on the map was outside of the screen. You know, if you go on the tallest building, it's like 1/3 of the screen, or maybe a bit less, but I was like way outside of the screen, and then I looked down on Manhattan Island, or New York City, whatever, I'm not really sure, and it was so small. I was like, what the heck is this? And while I was doing that, the guy was punching and pulling towards me disappeared. He just vanished into thin air. So then I started falling, plummeting to my death. And then, just to add to the awesomeness of this moment, I got hit by a train. The odds of that happening are ludicrous, but it happened. I was falling like so high, like 50,000 feet of the air, like ah! And I got hit, just as I was about to land, I got hit by a train. And that saved my life, because normally you'd have your bones crushed. Now, there's some minor bugs too, like, oh man, time's running out. Alright, I'm gonna do part 2 of this review, so stick around for part 2 where I talk about even more bugs and more about the game, of course.